What stands out in your memory about your first year of marriage?
Our first daughter was born here at Victory Heights 3 days before our first anniversary. Our first daughter, Nancy.
Can you tell a favorite story about Grandma?
Yep, she and a friend were going to a baby shower one night, and Grandma, not being from this area, not too familiar with the area roads at that time, was directed by her friend how to get to the baby shower, which did Grandma, or Mary Jane, to over to the Veneton area. As a result, she drove about 30 miles out of her way to get to a baby shower for a friend.
Have you ever married more than once?
Nope.
What do we have now that you didn't have then?
All right, we have fast food restaurants, we have audio video cassettes, we have computers, we have supermarket scanning, price scanning, we have color TV, VCRs, Walkmen, we have bigger variety of automobiles and all sorts of technical equipment, new and different unusual telephones, telephone answering services, you name it, and we have it now. We didn't have it then.
What did you have then that we don't have now?
What did we have then?
Yep.
We had, well, a slower pace of life for one thing. We had passenger trains in most cases going right through the Horseheads, Elmira, Corning, Painted Post area. We had wire recorders. Now there's something. They were only on the market for about a year. They came out back in the early 50s, and I have one in my basement at home. It was in workable condition at one point, but I had an engineer fuss with it, and now it won't work. A technical engineer, electrical engineer, but I'm hoping someday to get it put back together because I think eventually it'll be an antique. Did you ever hear of a wire recorder?
No.
Well, it's a little wire spool with the voice impressions, the same as you would now have on a magnetic tape or a cassette tape.
Oh.
Any other questions?
Not right now.
Okay.
These are questions about big events in your life.
Okay.
What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you?
Well, one of the funniest things would be I used to help Santa Claus out a lot by playing Santa Claus in the local department stores and also on TV. And one time playing Santa Claus in downtown Elmira, Gorton's department store, which is no longer Gorton's, the building's still there. This little neighborhood girl came along, and her mother let her sit on Santa Claus's lap, and I asked her all sorts of questions, what she wanted for Christmas, so on and so forth. And I thought that I was fooling her, and when I got done, she got down and ran back to her mother and says, "Did you see Dave?"
What was your proudest moment?
Probably the childhood accomplishments of both my daughters, Kristen and Nancy Beth, and later on musical accomplishments, academic accomplishments also of all four of my grandchildren, including you and your sister Annie and Sam and Sarah Doyle from Stamford, New York.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing moment was when I was at the swimming school in Canandaigua, and one of my relatives named Harlan Evans, who was the instructor at the school, who apparently didn't realize who I was or didn't know me that well. I was trying to impress him, so I dove off one of the docks at the swimming school, hit my head on the bottom of Canandaigua Lake, and came back up and said something about, "There, did you see that?" And he never saw a thing that went on, and I really felt embarrassed about that. Still do.
Apart from school, what have been your most important learning experiences?
Being an only child and having two daughters, I learned a learning experience was to learn how they interacted through the years, and I learned from that.
To what organizations have you belonged?
Lions Club, younger years, Boy Scouts of America. Also belonged to SBEBSQSA. You know what that is?
No.
Society for the Preservation and Encouragement of Barbershop Quartet Singing in America. You want to write that on the blackboard 50 times? Those are the clubs.